Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna edit everything out, no matter what
Can
is
you edit
coming
the
out.
video by yourself?
I'm gonna do it after myself. I know how to do it, so don't even worry. I'm gonna ask you for something else, but yes, first we do this, and then I'll explain you the plan after. Okay? Okay, ready. Uh, Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about a specific case for the supply and demand theory regarding cigarettes. And here is the case study that we are offered. So here, the laws of supply and demand indicate that higher prices are ineffective in reducing smoking. In particular, higher cigarette prices will reduce the demand for cigarettes, and this reduction in demand will push the equilibrium price back down to its original level. And since the equilibrium price will remain unchanged, smokers will consume the same number of cigarettes. And Changbu, do you think you would agree with that?
Absolutely, I agree with that. So
Okay.
the basically, I like to go over the definition of law of demand and law of supply. That what we learned the last week. So the for the law of demand, when the price goes up, the price for a good or commodity goes up, the quantity demanded is reduced. And the law for lava supply, when the price for a good or commodity goes up, the quantity supplies is increased. However, we found out that the cigarette case it might be different.
Exactly. I totally agree with that. And this happens specifically because this is an industry which is highly dependable on customer preferences and needs and other factors other than just supply and demand theory that we can see on the screen to the right. And so, for example, some people may not be willing to change those preferences simply because they cannot and they're addicted and they cannot stop smoking. And therefore, what's going to happen is that at the first stage, the immediate reaction, if the prices go up, the demand is going to go down, as we all know. And because of that, the demand curve is going to shift to the left. But essentially, what's going to happen is that the price is going to go up and then balance it out and end up in its original position of the equilibrium price that it was previously. And the next slide is going to further explain how that's going to happen.
Yeah, so again, the short term it might affect the demands of the cigarette, the price as well. However, in the long term equivalent, for the long term, the equivalent price remains unchanged. And there's a few reasons we would like to bring up. The first of all is um, the peoples are really addicted to people hardly change their behaviors. And secondly, I like to mention that the power of a substitute. There's just so many substitute that the people can just easily change it. For example, vaping is a good example. Also, the since the after COVID, the people travel a lot again, so they easily get the lower tax price, cigarette in other country and then ship it back to US in this California. And Matt, could you explain me more about it?
Yes, of course. When it comes to highly competitive markets and the power of substitutes specifically, so we're here as this market is so competitive, it's going to be very difficult. If one specific company like Marlboro is going to increase the price for its cigarettes that it's selling, then the power of substitute is going to be too strong, and the users of Marlboro are going to switch to other cheaper cigarettes. But when it comes to the government influence, this can be seen a little bit differently, as from the government sector, they're able to impact pricing of the whole industry. They can put it on the whole industry, meaning that all of the cigarette companies are going to be forced to sell their products at higher prices, which is going to affect the demand at first place, and it's going to be reduced, as we said, in the short term. But in the future, as people are not going to be willing to buy cigarettes at such high prices, the industry leaders are going to slowly shifting the prices downwards in order to make it more comfortable for people to buy those products again. And in the long term, they're going to end up at the equilibrium price that we saw originally, and there will be no specific change. Do you think there's anything else that we could add to that discussion?
Not really, but there's a one thing I like to comment that through this discussion we found that actually the ultimately the winner is actually government, you know, sadly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it always wins. And yes,
Mhm.
thank you everyone for listening for this discussion. Here's our references. Thank you and goodbye.
Peace out.
Okay.